like it or not. For the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand.
You're on camera, say something.
Last night and night before, there was 3 women walking down the street that way. I saw them. I said, hey, you 3 women, why are y'all walking down the street that way? There's nothing down there. And they flew away. I said, oh, them was some birds.
It's an energy drink for men! Energy! These aren't your dad's puns. These are energy puns. Turbo puns! Science, energy, electrolytes, turbo lights, power lights, more lights than your body has room for.
Do not be alarmed. There is nothing wrong with your monitor or mobile device. The signal has been interrupted through the space-time continuum. What you are about to see is a message from the future. Have hope, for this is on the way.
Okay, students, our final lesson for the day is an examination of a footnote in history. It was a small and insignificant series of events, but nevertheless, it serves as a reminder of how easily we can lose focus on what's important in our lives. From 2015 to sometime in 2020, there was a resurgence in what was known as the Flat Earth movement, though it is more commonly referred to today as the Flat Earth cult. Ready access to a primitive internet that was overburdened with misinformation led to a rise in an anti-science agenda promoted by this small group of religious fundamentalists. After deciding that the education they failed to comprehend was all political indoctrination, they threw out all achievements of the 20th and 21st centuries, opting instead for a fictional spiritual cosmology which defied all known laws of nature. Now, what exactly did flat earthers believe, and why? Well, the first question is easier to answer than the second. Their worldview consisted of a motionless and relatively flat plane, located inside of heavenly waters. The waters were believed to be kept out by a firmament, or dome, above the flat plane. There were a number of proponents of the Flat Earth cult that gained some level of notoriety during its heyday. Notable examples include anti-Semite and yoga instructor Eric Dubay, who was eventually found dead in South America with copious amounts of illicit substances and prostitutes.
So, what's going on? Why did you guys lie? You scared? Everybody's waiting. Everybody's asking me, when's the debate gonna happen? I don't know. Apparently Neil agreed to it. Joe announced it repeatedly on his show, and now they've disappeared. Now they don't say anything about it, like it never happened. So what happened?
Broken out of a window in hell.
Professional video gamer Mark Sargent, who would later be exposed as a profiteer and charlatan.
You've been looking at this for 30 years? Yeah, you can throw that away. This is the domed version of the flat Earth model. The South Pole, it's like a 200-foot wall of ice, straight up, Game of Thrones style. And the sun and the moon are just lights in the sky.
Yo. 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 Yo.
And Jaron Campanella, more commonly referred to as Jism, who used simple experiments to confirm heliocentric predictions on at least 2 occasions. Observe.
You have a backup experiment.
If you're seeing through this hole, through the next hole, and seeing the light at the backboard, or at 17 feet off the water, the Earth is flat. If he's holding it up at 23 feet high and we're seeing the light, well, that's because the Earth's curved. So I should only be able to see it when it's at 17 feet. Okay, go ahead and drive down there, Enrique. You're going to hold the light there. Enrique, how high is your light?
17 feet.
I mean, it's as, we don't see you, Enrique. Lift up your light way above your head. Interesting. Interesting there. That's interesting.
My alarm went off on my phone and I knew I had 10 seconds. I counted down in my head 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I remember waiting, like what? And then sure enough, there it was. And here we can see it as close as basically I can get. And it looks to be the shape of the ISS. Does it look a little weird? Yeah. I mean, does it look like a blob? Yeah.
While there were other names associated with it, all of these flat Earth proponents faded into obscurity along with the movement, with most of their fates unknown. It is commonly accepted that the cult arose due to a number of key psychological factors. Flat Earthers, more commonly referred to as flurfs, tended to be paranoid, unsuccessful in their personal lives, and poorly educated. This led to a Dunning-Kruger effect, in which flurfs believed that they had some level of secret knowledge that the general public did not. However, this knowledge was not only very public, they even used well-known corporate services to spread their message, but it was also intentionally manipulated and misrepresented to reinforce the Flat Earth narrative. During its existence, the Flat Earth cult never achieved anything of significance. All observations done were either falsified or manipulated, or fit perfectly fine within the heliocentric model. Their experiments reflected a poor understanding of science and the scientific method. Also noted by the fact that no flat earther ever obtained a degree in a field of science. Online debates were held, in which flirts were known to become easily agitated, if they showed up at all, and would consistently commit logical fallacies to attempt to divert from their poorly constructed belief system. Here's a few notable examples.
Now, as soon as the satellite's deployed, satellites deployed, now the moon can begin, and the moon will start its little trek again. Here it goes. Okay, now the moon will stop for the next satellite to be deployed. And this is the kind of bullshit that you guys will just accept. You'll come up with some bullshit answer for it, that why the moon just stops for fucking SpaceX satellites to be deployed.
You mean it can't possibly be in any way, shape, or form that it's actually the Falcon 9 rocket that's doing the turning? Oh my god!
What do you mean the turning?
The moon is staying still, you ignorant piece of shit. It's actually the rocket that's doing the moving. If the camera is attached to the satellite that's actually doing the moving, then the picture's going to move with it. If you don't have a fucking reference point from it, then of course it's going to confuse you.
Thank you so much for showing this, Bob. This is the most important thing anybody can look at. Because when you see that Kansas is flatter than an IHOP pancake, and then you start looking at other states and they're all flat, well then how does that work on a ball 25,000 miles in circumference? If you're on a ball 25,000 miles and you do in circumference and you do a 360-degree circle, every angle of incidence is bending at a measurably detectable level. So all these states and just the USA alone, and look, guys, I'm only mentioning the US. All other countries have measured.
Can I respond while you're looking at that there?
Sure, you can.
All right. One common method of quantifying flatness in geodesy is the flattening ratio. I'm reading from it right here. The length of an ellipse or arc's semi-major axis is compared with its measured semi-minor axis, b, using the formula for flattening. F equals a minus b over a. A perfectly flat surface will have a flattening f of 1, where an ellipsoid with an equal axis length will have no flattening, and f will equal 0. For example, the Earth is slightly flattened at the poles due to the Earth's rotation, making its semi-major axis slightly longer than its semi-minor axis, giving a global f of 0.00335. For both Kansas and the pancake, we approximated the local ellipsoid with a second-order polynomial line to fit the cross-sections. These polynomial equations allowed us to estimate the local ellipsoid's semi-major and semi-minor axis, and thus we can calculate the flattening measure f.
What is your point, my brother? Thank you for reading that.
So that is right there, and I do thank you very much for bringing this this citation in.
You're very welcome. Go ahead and make your point now.
Okay.
The cult of the flat earth was a mysterious and unpleasant part of history, one that reflected hostility, anger at the world, a failed education system, and the dangers of tribal cult behavior. To live in a world with no universe outside of it, in which your own deity has been held captive to a corrupted government, is a dead end to human civilization. It cuts off all progression and leads only to insanity and darkness. Be glad, students, that this cult is, as I said, only a minor footnote. We as people are much smarter now. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel, which is Dead Kennedy in Space. If you want to support me further, consider donating on Patreon or purchasing some of my work through Amazon or Teespring. Thank you, and I'll see you over the curve, Space Cowboys.
Live there, on the mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam, in a vast cosmic arena.